Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Carruthers. I am a top performance coach. I help top producers, top achievers, people that really want to go far in their life and they're hungry for more. And here I am bringing you another episode of the work that I'm doing, the conversations that are coming up with my current clients, and I wanted to bring you some information. So one of the things that we often do to ourselves as a top performer is feel like we haven't done enough. We set up these goals, say for first quarter, and then we don't hit them or they don't happen exactly like we thought. I was just in a conversation with a real estate agent. She felt like she wanted to do 2 closings a month, January, February, and March. And March, she's not going to get 2 closings unless something falls out of the sky, and hope it does. So she's being hard on herself or feeling like she didn't make it. And we had a really great discussion today, and I want to tell you what I did with her. So first of all, I want you to take a look at what you have done. It's always important. And when I do this, I like to take out a sheet of paper. Let me just pull out a sheet of paper here with you. And so I like to take out a sheet of paper, and then I like to fold it in half so that it's 2 sides, right? So we have a sheet of paper here, and then I like to fold it in half. Okay, and so once we have it in half, then we have 2 sides of the sheet that are for current reality, okay, is one side, and then what I need to pivot on or focus on going forward. So I would like to invite you to spend the next 15 minutes. You can pause this video, take 15 minutes, and then write down all the things that you've done, say for this quarter. We're just at the beginning of March. We have 1 more month left. And so you can write down all the things. And this is not just for business. This is personal. This is in your entire life, because this is going to give us a little more of a roadmap, or as like a balance sheet, you could say, of what our life has been up to in the last 2 months. And these are the things that our brain might be forgetting or not putting into consideration when we look at our productivity. So for example, I can look at my own, last 2 months, and I'll say, well, I've been working a ton behind the scenes on my website and on my internet presence. I've hired a marketing company that I'm really grateful is helping me. I've been doing a lot of work with them. I've gone to a conference this month that just rocked my world with other real estate agents. I've been able to bring on 6 different coaching clients. I've gained another big client in a big banking industry in California. I have worked out at the gym every single morning. My handstand has gotten better by probably 30%. I'm still working on handstands. Let's see what else. I've had a really fun getaway weekend with my boyfriend. Let's see what else. So I want to sit here and list all this, right? So I list all this and I look at it. And what ends up happening is not only do I get a physical check on what happened in reality, all of these actions took place, I can also look at it into what was happening emotionally. So I'm just going to use my client's example for a second. She has been redoing her bathroom in her house, and she just showed me pictures today, poor thing. If any of you have ever had, work done, remodeling work done in your house, and it takes so much longer than you're used to, it's that sense of feeling completely powerless as to what's going on and how do I get this fixed? And I have no control over making it happen. So if we look at her emotional list, it might say bathroom on her list, but we need to look at it emotionally and go, how taxing was that? And how much brain space did that really take up? So if her outward bound calls or her prospecting calls were lower, which they were, we had to actually look at all the things she did and all the emotional space and physical space she was in. So the bathroom being in this chaotic state really threw her off course. So can she hold herself? Can she beat herself up for making space for the bathroom that she really wants versus the cold calls that she didn't make? Well, it's always tricky, right? Because we want to keep going and we want to keep improving. That's what makes us top achievers. But we also need to give ourselves some grace and some understanding as to what the whole big picture looks like. And the point of this exercise is to see what the whole big picture looks like so that you can really credit yourself for what you need to be seeing. Okay, so it shows the physical aspects of what you've done. It also shows the emotional aspects of where you've been and whatever else. If you spent tons of time in meditation, if you spent tons of time doing your church activities or your religious activities, it might show community service. It might show all of the things that you did with your kiddos. All of that needs to be taken into account, right? So being a top producer doesn't just mean in one area. It actually means in all of us. It's a way of being. I always like to say, embody your personal power. And the reason for that is that we want full consciousness of everything that I'm doing in my life. Make choices that is where I want it to be, what I believe in, where my integrity lies and my value lies, and line up with that. And then we let life happen, because life is always going to happen. Lots of things are going to come in that we cannot control, and we have to roll with the punches. So when we're making an assessment of ourselves of, am I a top producer? Did I do good enough? I like to take out this exercise and actually look at the reality of what happened so that I can make an adequate assessment, because my brain will play tricks on me. It'll forget some of the bad things. It'll forget some of the uncomfortable things. It might ignore some of the small things that made a big difference to me at the time, like my handstands. I've really been excited about getting those, but my brain would easily slough that off. Well, I forget the toll and the strength building it took on my body and the benefits of doing that. And that's something to celebrate, right? Even if it's only 30% better. So if we're really going to tote ourselves as top producers and top achievers, we really want to see the whole picture. And that's why I love this exercise. So you put all of your current reality on this side of the sheet, okay? And then when you get done with that, and really it takes like 15 minutes, and afterwards you might get a couple more little ahas. Oh yeah, I did this, I did that, I forgot to add that. And please add it to the list later. And then the next side of the list is about how you need to improve. And so if you see on one side of the list, I only did 30% better, for example, on my handstands, then if I want to improve it just to like 35% or 32%, or if I'm going big, 40%, what does that mean I need to tweak in my workouts or my practices to get my handstand 40% better next time? And I write that down. So it might say, take more time stretching and building the right muscles getting up to handstand. It's not do 40%. I mean, I could say do 40% for handstands, but my brain is going to go, what does that mean specifically? So I want to put it down in details. If, for example, on this list, on my reality list, I say that I made 100 prospecting calls this month and I'm not getting enough traction, then I might say make 120 calls this next month. If I need to, like if I put something over here in the current reality and said, you know, my meditation practice, my commitment to that was only about 40% that I really, really did it. I might want to say 42% of meditation practice by listening to, I know there are several apps that you can get. Headspace is one of them. Insight Timer is another one. These are all meditation apps. And I might say, listen to Insight Timer for an extra 20 minutes a week. So I get really, really specific. So what ends up happening is sometimes we have as many actions in the do forward list as we had on the past list, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're actually okay with the past list being where it is. So we only end up with maybe 10, you know, out of like 30. We end up with 10 things that are just little pivots. And that's all we really need to focus on, because when we try to focus on everything to make ourselves a star performer all the time, you're going to drive yourself crazy. I do. I'm sure you do. We don't want to drive ourselves crazy, right? So we really want to just do a couple of the things that make a difference. All right. If you have questions about this or it doesn't make sense to you in any way, go ahead and first subscribe to my channel, because I would love to see you back here. If you're new, awesome. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you've come back again, thank you for watching. And then go ahead and put your comments in the comment section so that I can make this clear for you, because I'm always here. I love being here, and thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day.